Live from Genghis Cohen in the heart of Hollywood, it's the Nighttime Show. Tonight we have our head writer, Matt Walker. I'm the voice of the Nighttime Show, Mike Black. And we have our very special guest, star of Drake and Josh, Ultimate Spider-Man. And he has a new record called Honest, Mr. Drake Bell. And now, the host of the Nighttime Show, more sinister than the entire Sinister Six, Stephen Kramer Glickman.
You better believe it. We are joined today by one of the finest actors of our generation, a dear friend, a man, a myth, and a legend himself, Spider-Man himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Drake Bell is here with us.
What's going on, guys? How's it going?
Give it up. This is a long time coming, buddy. We've wanted to have you on the show for quite a while.
Yeah, this is really cool. I'm glad I can make it.
I'm happy that you're here. We posted a little thing to the web to kind of, just to give people a little what's up surprise. Just say, hey, if you have questions, you got questions for Drake. We did a little hashtag TNTS on the interweb to just kind of see what kind of stuff we get. So I'll have some questions for you from the internet later. But let's start with this, Drake. Let's start with this. Where were you born? Where'd you grow up?
Orange County, California.
Are you enjoying those?
I'm sorry, my mouth's full.
Tell them what you're eating.
What are you eating right
just
now?
so they'll know.
Fried noodles.
Yeah,
They're very good.
yeah.
Well, you had this at Genghis Cohen, so I'm like, oh my
what
gosh,
are you
can I
gonna do?
eat?
Not eat?
Yeah.
Eat Genghis Cohen while we're at Genghis Cohen?
Now,
You kind of have
The
to.
fried noodles are off the hook.
Yeah,
they're really
it's
good.
not
Yeah.
fair.
So
And that sauce, it's a sauce on side, is
Which
so
one?
good.
Now, which one do you like, the spicy mustard or the plum sauce?
Plum sauce.
Plum sauce.
Yeah.
That's a man after my own heart.
He's a
Yeah,
plum
I'm
sauce
really into
guy.
plum sauce.
Yeah.
So
It sounds dirtier than it
Can you
is.
turn my headphones up a little bit?
yes, you are
Sweet.
on number
Got that
4.
sexy ass
How's that?
plum
Yeah,
sauce.
everyone was sounding like very soft and quiet. There there we go.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
do you like the
Well,
plum
you get to
sauce?
talking about
Tell the
plum
ladies
sauce,
how much
and
you love that
it gets
plum
real
sauce.
sultry real fast.
Where did you grow up, Drake? Where are you
Orange
from?
County, California.
Orange County. He's
Orange
a
County.
California
And
boy.
I
Yeah.
read that your mother is a professional billiards player, like world champion, Hall of Fame.
That's true.
What?
Yeah, 2-time world champion pool player.
Really?
God, that's incredible.
Did you grow up playing a lot of pool and she just kicked your ass all the time?
Nah, just in a bunch of, just in bars and,
Would you watch her? Did she ever hustle anyone? You ever see her hustle people?
my mom's like sort of,
Sexism
she
does the
used to
hustling
be,
for her.
she used to be kind of, but now she's like June Cleaver. You know,
Yeah.
so she wouldn't really do that. Now she just kind of, she's retired and she teaches the elderly.
What?
So she has like students that are like 95, 96 years old.
What does she
Did
teach
Crazy.
them? She
Did he
teaches
use
them
your
She's like
billiards?
pool. Yeah. How to
Really?
play pool. Yeah.
Oh my
How to
God.
hustle.
It's funny that there's
I
like
love
a bunch
that.
of 90-year-olds that have wicked game now.
Oh, they love it.
You know?
It's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
It's so funny, and she loves it. The stories she has are so funny because they get so competitive. But they're like,
I went with my mom's. She's not a world champion pool player, billiards player, but she is a very good billiards player because she had one in her basement growing up. And we went together to a bar in San Diego where they were playing pool. I was going to play against some guy, and then the guy was like, "Put a little money down. How about $100?" Threw $100 bill on the table, and I go, "Oh, I don't have any cash on me." And my mom goes, "I do." And throws $100 down, and she fucking wiped the floor with him. And it was
Oh, that's
great.
awesome.
It's great.
yeah. I wish that I could take my mom into pool halls because she just looks so unassuming.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can't take her into somewhere where people know pool because it's like, oh, I wonder if they'll know that Nolan Ryan can throw a fastball.
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Exactly.
I
They'll
wonder if
figure it
Tiger
out.
Woods can hit a hole-in-one. It's like bringing a celebrity into, But if you go to just some Joe Schmo pool hall where people are just, they don't know pool.
Yeah.
But that would be fun to kind of just have her wipe the floor. But.
Does she do like a bunch of trick shots and stuff? Does she know
Oh
do all
yeah,
that?
she
That's
does.
Awesome.
I mean, dude, she's one of the top 5 women who've ever touched a pool cue. So
Yeah.
she does it all. I mean, she doesn't miss. She's out of control. She was.
And are you any good or no?
I mean, I can beat my friends. I can play. I can shoot a little bit, but not because of growing up. I mean, probably just because of growing up around it, not from
You just pick up a few
learning
things
from her.
Yeah.
Because she didn't teach us. She would. We'd say, "Oh, I want to play pool, Mom. Let's play pool." She'd go, "Okay, rack the balls," and then we'd break. Nothing would go in, and then she would run the table.
Run the
She'd be
table.
like, okay,
Right.
Rack.
Game over.
And then she'd break the balls, run the table. Okay, Rack. And be like, okay, this is boring. We want to go play outside. She's like, good, because I want to practice. I don't want to play with my kids. and so she would just never, ever let us win. Ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Never.
You've
Ever.
never beat her.
God.
No.
Not once. Not
No,
didn't
she
get
can't.
lucky.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's literally in her. It's not in her DNA to let
Yeah.
anyone, even if it's her 7-year-old son or her. Her grandkids now. Like she'll let them make some ball, but they'll never win the game.
Yeah, I think
you know, like no.
Well, to be a
No.
world
Yeah,
champion,
no
you
way.
need that.
Yeah, it's
right?
it's
Yeah.
very funny, but she just didn't want us growing up in pool halls and hustling
Yeah.
and getting going and being in bars all the time, really.
sure,
And so
yeah.
she's like, if I teach my sons how to play pool as well as I play, or
Yeah.
even close, even in the realm, then
Yeah.
they'll just
They'll be
they'll
degenerates.
just be degenerates sitting in bars and hustling people.
Yeah.
So-
Now you have another athlete in your family because Heath Bell is your cousin, all-star baseball pitcher.
Yeah, for
Wow.
the
Padres.
for the Padres
Couple
and
years,
the Diamondbacks, the Mets, and all that. Yeah,
Uh,
he was one of the best closers.
What about your dad? What's your dad do?
Rack the balls.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Pretty much. No, he's just kind of a all-around handyman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a contractor.
Was he around most of the time when you were growing up? Or was
He was the one who
around-
got me into business.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, I don't know. I was young. I was like 5 years old, and we were really into old movies, and we would always go to the video store, and I'd want to get old Jerry Lewis, Dean Martin, and Abbott and Costello, and the Marx Brothers, and he was obsessed with that stuff. You know, growing up, still whenever I go over to his house, or he comes over to mine, we're watching, Leave It to Beaver and all the old classic stuff. He's the one that got me into like Elvis and the Beach Boys and Beatles, and that was just always around in the house growing up. And so I would, try and sound like Jerry Lewis or fall like him, just messing around as a kid. And he got me into baseball and stuff. He was really into baseball, and I would rather be doing something that had to do with entertainment than sit on a bench in a little league or try and hit a baseball. It just wasn't my thing. And so he could just kind of see that. He's like, "Well, do you want to try and actually do this for real?" And
Yeah. And
we didn't know he'd never been in the business. No one, so we were really just shooting blind. Even though we grew up out here in LA, but we didn't know anybody in the business or anything like that. So
Yeah, and you get those calls.
it's like back of the penny saver. Oh, there's
Yeah.
a manager for children. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
that
yeah.
seems safe.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my God, that's kind of fucking terrifying.
Oh, it's
I
Kevin
remember,
Spacey's house. What?
Oh God,
Doesn't seem
Matt,
right.
why'd you have to go there, Matt? MattWalkerSucks.com is a real website. Please go there and say what you want. When one of my first jobs in Los Angeles, or first meetings I ever had in Los Angeles, I was 18 years old, and I met with John Robert Powers. You remember those guys?
Of course,
Remember
yeah.
John Robert Powers. They were like a talent agency for young
Yeah.
people.
Oh, yeah, they
and
were.
Yes, they were. And I went in there, and the agent at John Robert Powers was like, "Wow, you sure are real nice. You're a real nice guy. You're great. How old are you?" I was like 18. He was like, how would you feel about working here? Like working in like you could be a teacher trainer person. Like you're more qualified to be that than to be an actor. Yeah, he's like, why don't you consider working here? And I carried in my old wallet, I carried his business card for about 5 years in my wallet, like as I was living here, trying to decide like, is that the job I'm
Is that
supposed
what I
to
wanna
do?
do?
Like,
Yeah.
and it would always be that one thing that would play through your head where you're like, well, I just lost my job at some shitty restaurant I worked at. Maybe I should go.
Well, I guess it's time
Time to call John Robert Powers. I never did. I never ended up working there, but it was like
John
it was
Robert
like,
Powers.
It was back of
that's
the book.
That's still around.
It still exists.
It's still a
It's
thing.
still around,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
anybody that is listening to this, just beware of it and don't do anything with them.
Here's what's so weird though. Like,
And headshots aren't $5,000.
no, they're not.
Just tell you, they're not.
Wait a
5,000
second.
Have you ever done one of those classes where they pay you like some chunk of change and then you have to go talk to a bunch of kids about like the industry and like have you ever done one of those? Because I did it one
'cause
time.
I have friends who've done some of them, and they just are so. I'm like, I'll go to a school and I'll like talk to kids and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna have you give me some money so that you can take money out of these. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems kind of grimy.
Well, it's so
For the
brutal.
record, I will let you take money and pay me so you can steal money from children. I'm available for that.
Absolutely.
I will take that
there's
money.
Too many
I have
other,
no,
there's
I have
too
no
many other
qualms
ways
about
to
it.
make cash that I don't need to do that.
Well,
you know?
I got hired for this guy Adrian Armonte. Do you know him?
Yes.
Yeah. So he has a school, and he hired me for I think it was 3 days. I got paid like $2 or $3 grand. Like,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like a fucking chunk of change, and I
Yeah.
had to show up for 5-6 hours each
Yeah.
day and talk to a bunch. He had 1,000 kids from around the world that had flown in. Their families had flown them in, and then they'd sit in a classroom, and you're like, make them get up and do a monologue.
And don't you
want
to just look at them and be like, okay, here's my advice. What you just did, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do this thing.
What you're doing
What you're
now,
doing now, don't do this thing.
Do
Just
that.
leave.
But
Yeah.
what's so weird is that then. And this is not an endorsement to him in any way, shape, or form, but I've had to cast a shitload of stuff over the last year from a lot of non-union stuff, and I run into if we have to cast kids and you put stuff out on Breakdown Services, you look at their little resumes and 90% of them are kids who have gone through his school and have stayed on. Their family has stayed on because either they stay on or they leave.
Or they're gone. Yeah.
But it's that's for some kids, that's their only way in. They hear about it on the radio. They go to a thing. They pay a fuck ton of money.
That's the thing
And
to get.
I got in trouble because in the class, one of the parents said, "How much money should we pay for headshots?" And I said, "You should never pay more than $100 for headshots."
Yeah, I mean, at
That's
most $300.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
$300,
yeah.
But I was
$300.
I was your kid is changing every day. He's this
oh yeah, I guess
6-year-old.
especially for young kids.
I was
like,
he's a
you know,
6-year-old. In a year from now,
You
those
have an
headshots aren't-
iPhone.
Yeah,
You can,
Everyone that
buy a nice camera, learn Photoshop.
Yeah.
And I got in so much shit. They got because they were selling
selling
$1,000
packages.
headshot
Yeah, they were
packages,
selling packages,
and I
yeah.
looked like a real asshole. But it was
yeah.
whatever.
I don't know.
Can't,
I think that's just.
you can't bullshit.
I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
just preying on young kids. Is
Well, and it goes through the whole industry. You see, come to this workshop and meet this casting director for
Oh,
Yeah,
all the casting
yeah.
director workshops.
Yeah.
I
And
even feel bad doing those. Have you ever been to those Hollywood has-been shows
Oh,
where
God.
where you're sitting next to I don't know the Billy Barty and
oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
and then the dude who
I wish it was Billy Barty.
and the dude who did
That would
two
be quite a
episodes-
trick.
It's like Brian Barty.
yeah,
He has
exactly.
been dead for a decade. I would really feel like I got screwed over if they sat me next to
The
dead
guy
Billy
who was
Barty.
on 3 episodes of Columbo. He had he
Yeah.
had a character arc, and, and
I
they,
would go
and
as a
they
fan.
sell headshots with their
Yeah.
autographs on them.
Yeah.
yeah.
For $150, $200, and then there's an entrance fee to the thing.
Well,
I've
when
done-
Steven signed
for the
autographs,
madam.
no, I mean
that runs the place.
I've done them, but
Yeah.
Steven did
I've
an
only done a
autograph
couple
signing
of 'em.
for how many people?
Oh no! Hang on a second. It was called In Person Inc. Did you ever hear about this place? It was on Hollywood. It was Hollywood Boulevard and Highland. And these guys opened this shop up, and they said, "We'll pay you." Do you remember how much it was? Was it
like
$1,000?
$2,000 or
$2
something.
grand, something like
Yeah.
this. They were like $2 grand in cash. They'll hand you an envelope with cash, and you show up, and they'll send a car to come pick you up, and they'll have lunch and food for you. And they said they print 1,000 headshots of my headshots for me to sign for this thing. And I was like, yeah, I'll fucking do that. I go, can Matt come with me?
Yeah.
So Matt gets in the car. We get in this car. They take us down.
No, we
drive.
did it ourselves.
When was this?
Oh, yeah.
We said, oh, we don't need the car because
Yeah,
it'll
we
be easy.
live
it's
so
like
close.
you could walk there.
Yeah, so we get there, and there is an armed guard. And he's like, Steven Glickman has arrived with his +1. Move him in, move him in, move him in. And they get us in the back. They have all of our food, all of our stuff laid out. And they go, would you like to eat anything? And Matt and me are like, yeah, I guess we'll eat some. We have a little bit of food. We get a drink. They go, okay, what color Sharpies would you like? We have all these different color Sharpies. I was like, pick a couple out. They go, great. The headshots are on the table. Security, let's get them in there. We get in. All the windows have stuff over them so you can't see how many people are outside. And then they go, are we ready to open the door? And I go, yes. They hand me the cash in the envelope, okay?
Yeah.
And they go, all right, open the doors. And they open the doors. And in the 3 hours I was booked there,
Three or four people
showed up, and they were so fucking upset, Drake. You've never seen more angry people in your life.
Like their business is evaporating in front of their eyes. You were like the second person ever that they hired.
Panicking. These old people who open were panicking. What have we done? What business model is this? Why didn't we try harder?
Why didn't we try harder?
We should have taken out an ad.
The best thing to hear when someone's world is collapsing. Why didn't we try harder?
So their business model was in-person ink, like, oh, we're going to get these celebrities.
In person.
And then, here's the best part. They go, like, the lady goes like this. She goes, I'm going to try to get one of these couple families on the street. And she goes, would you like to meet Stephen Glickman from the Disney Big Rush Show? And the family goes, no, thank you. And they just kept walking. It was the best.
Would you like to meet?
Yeah.
Would you please come in? We're so alone.
Didn't one family
For the meager price of $35.
Oh yeah, they were
Would you
charging
like
like
to
$40 a ticket to come in, and
I think one of the families only bought the ticket to get the autograph is so they could come in and use the bathroom.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah. Oh my
Where
god.
they're like, can we use the bathroom? They're like, customers only. They're like, okay, fine. Like, they really had
Here's
to
the
go.
$35. God, son of a bitch. There's a photo of me with 2 of the 4 people that showed up, and I look like I am on another planet. I am like, oh, this is a wonderful experience.
Who do I make this out to? I need to shit.
I need to take a shit. I'll make it out to I need to take a shit. It was the best. And at the end, they like watched me walk away with the money, and you could just see them so upset. And we walked.
That must have been so awkward walking off with $2,000 from these people whose lives are
You
over.
just made them about $40.
$40, maybe if they're lucky, they got $40 out of it.
No, they're now, instead of being negative $10,000, they're negative $9,960.
Yeah.
Because you were there.
Oh shit! It was good. They were out of business within a month.
Yeah.
They were gone.
I would love to hear who else did that.
I know that Burt Ward.
He was their
did
first
it.
one.
He
And
was
he
their
was
first
a
one.
big hit.
Burt Ward did it?
And he
did
was
it.
like a hit.
He was a big
I was going to
hit.
say, a bunch of people must have shown up for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like a big deal for them that they got
Yeah.
Burt Ward.
Yeah.
Burt
And
Ward
then-
has some sort of
If
legal
they kept
thing.
it like that, if they
Yeah.
kept it like, oh, Burt Ward, oh, the next one is going to be, Jack Klugman or whatever, somebody like old cool, like kitschy cool
Yeah,
people
like
that
Eric
you'd never
Estrada.
see. Yeah,
Yeah.
Eric, yeah.
Then
I
it
mean,
would've
I don't know.
maybe
Eric
been-
Estrada's everywhere, but like
Yeah.
somebody that you like Burt Ward. I don't like. When was the last time Butch Patrick? Or some
Yeah.
stupid like.
They do like
Danny
Comic-Con
Bonaducci.
once a year, and then that's it.
I would say
Yeah.
not just get them, but get them in costume and put a set behind them.
There you go.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know? If Eric Estrada, you're right, everywhere. But in the Chips outfit on a motorcycle.
motorcycle.
And like he'll take a
Oh,
picture.
Ride on
Yeah.
the back.
You get a picture with him like arresting you or something,
Yeah.
and that would be cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
a
they're
whole
doing.
other
They're
deal.
doing this whole thing. What I think would be really cool is to do a meet and greet situation like that, but do what you just said. So, for
Right.
example, if we were going to do a pop up for, I don't know, what was a famous set on Big Time Rush? What was like the main set
like
that
the-
everyone would
the
recognize?
record
the
studio.
record studio.
Okay, so the record studio, right?
Yeah.
So say you pop down in Chicago or something, and you build the record studio in the middle of the city, and
See,
you
that
have the
makes
4
sense.
guys and
That
you
makes sense. That
like
because
do
then-
a picture opportunity, but everyone gets to come into the record and be in the not just like, oh,
Right.
I'm standing outside of Macy's with the gang, whatever. It's,
Yeah.
just, it's kind of more of an immersive, cool experience. Like for Drake, like if Drake and Josh's bedroom or something
Sure.
was in San Diego, and you could come take pictures with Josh and I, with
Yeah.
me and Josh.
Then it's a fan experience. Then
Right,
you
exactly.
get the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
thing.
And
yeah.
it's also like a conversation piece type photo. People are like, how did you get that? You
Yeah,
know?
like how were you possibly in that room? Like we don't
Yeah.
understand how that could have happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been cool. That makes a lot of sense actually. We got to
Tell that old couple that that the in-person folk.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I got a question here. We're going to take a question from at Constance Maslow, big time dreamer, wrote, Drake, who inspired you to become a musician? That is a a big part of your life is I've seen you perform live numerous times. You fucking destroy. You're
New record.
incredible
New
on
record
stage.
out.
Thanks.
Absolutely. What's the new record called?
It's called Honest. That's what I was just on tour for. I just came back from tour. I was on tour.
Dude,
till,
where are you
Friday
performing?
night.
I've seen these pictures. It looks like the audience is. It looks like you're performing to like an entire civilization.
Really?
Like,
Okay, good.
those-
Because I'm
those
wondering if my
places are
Instagram
enormous.
skills work to make
Dude,
these small audiences
yeah.
look like they're just seas of people.
It looks like that 100%.
No, they're
man.
good. They're good. They're like 3,000-4,000
That's fucking amazing,
audiences.
man.
They're really great.
That's
It's been a
incredible.
fun tour. And then what we've also been doing is we've been going into all these high schools where we put on like a mini music festival for them.
Oh my
And then
God.
yeah, so imagine you walk outside your high school halftime or early, and you have a full Lollapalooza happening with the bands playing and Guitar Center booths and Hollister booths, and you can go into the Guitar Center booth and bang on drums and guitars and pianos and all this stuff. And
What?
In and Out has a truck and like all this different stuff, you know.
Jeez.
And then we donate for every school. We donate $30,000 worth of recording and musical equipment for the
Oh my
school and
God.
stuff.
That's awesome.
So it's really cool thing.
Who are
but
you doing that with?
It's this company called High School Nation, and we have all these just different like Takis as a sponsor, and Cowtails, which was a really big issue this year because they're so freaking good, and we had boxes and boxes of just hundreds of them in like literally sitting
Oh, you mean the
next
candy?
to
You're
yes.
talking, yeah, I was.
Oh, not literal
I was like,
Cowtails.
Cowtails. I was like, what
well,
do you
I
do
wasn't
with
sure what
Cowtails?
he was talking about. I
No,
was like, is that a
Cowtails, the
musical
candy.
thing?
They're these caramels.
They're really
with
good.
White
He's not kidding.
Cream, vanilla cream in the middle of them.
What?
They're so addictive. They're so
They look like
freaking
Cowtails,
good.
but made
and
of
you,
candy.
yeah, and we just had like literally just handfuls of them, and I ate probably 1,000 of them. So it was bad. It was
Oh
bad.
my God.
But yeah, but anyway, my musical
next tour
influence
is going to be
is,
sponsored by the Diabetic Clinic.
yeah,
of
no, it
America.
really is. It's
That's
it's
fucking-
bad.
Insulin.
But musical
Keeping you
influences
alive.
are like the Beach Boys, the Beatles, Elvis, John Lennon. Well, that's the Beatles. Ben Folds, Rufus Wainwright,
Wow.
James Taylor.
You can hear that in your music too.
So a lot of
thanks,
singer-songwriter type.
Yeah, I mean, the '60s British invasion is really my thing, and rockabilly, and like '50s and '60s is really like my bread and butter. What I love to listen to and play.
50s
But I
has-
love, but I'm so eclectic, man. Like I love '20s music, I love '30s, '40s. Like I love all that old big band era, all the old swing stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just what mood I'm in. I love I'm a huge fan of Brazilian music, like João Gilberto and Antonio Carlos Jobim and Astrid Gilberto and all that kind of stuff.
What was the last one?
Astrid Gilberto and hello.
Yeah, you're on.
No, I didn't know.
No. I just lost. Oh, did I lose myself? Was I the only one that just lost myself?
Must have been your
Oh,
headphones.
there we
I
go.
don't know.
Yeah, it
you
was
were
my
fine.
There we
headphones.
go.
Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
that's good.
Sorry,
Okay.
guys. Sorry. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, Astrid Gilberto, she's awesome. She's this. She was João Gilberto's wife back in the '60s, and she's got this really incredible voice. But it just depends on what mood I'm in. But yeah, that was the stuff that I grew up on. Was all that old British.
That's awesome. Do you have
Bass and stuff.
like your band that you play with? Are they the same band that you tour with all the time?
Well, right now I'm playing. It's really cool. I'm playing with an all-girl band.
What?
Yeah, and so it was cool. I had this drummer that I played with who was really great, and so I was talking to her about this new tour and for the new record and everything. And then we were looking for guitar players, and she had mentioned a couple people. One of them was this girl who was really incredible, and I was like, oh man, we should actually just have all chicks. That'd be kind of cool. And so we found this awesome bass player, guitar player. We put this whole band together who's really great, and so I've just been playing with them.
Wow.
And,
Do they have like a name
it's
where they
lot
like
of
the
fun.
Bellettes or something?
Right? Yeah. No, we got to come up with something. But no.
The Bells. The Southern
Yeah,
Bells
Drake
or
and
something
the
like
Bells or
The
something.
Bell
Drake and
Tones
the
has been
Bells.
taken, right?
Ooh, I like Drake and the Bells.
Something like that.
That's awesome. Are you going to play any dates here in LA while you're in town?
Well, we actually played. We just played at the Rose in Pasadena, which is this new venue. It's very. I mean, it's a cool venue. It's a great venue, but it's just for our kind of thing. It's kind of dinner theater. It'd be great for like stand-up comedy.
Yeah,
but
interesting.
But for a band, you're kind of like you're like playing your new single, and people are literally like having soup.
Oh,
like you're just like, what
That's
is
a little
and they're all
demoralizing.
sitting down,
Yeah.
and then fans who are there to see you are like, wait, are we? They don't know.
Are we
what
in the
to
wrong
do,
room?
and
Are we in the,
it's just a weird vibe. And then we played the Canyon Club the next night. It was crazy.
That's
We
a
came-
great venue.
Yeah,
That's
that's
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
That place.
See, it's the same as the Canyon Club, but the Canyon Club
Yeah.
will move the tables.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they can have standing room, and if you want to sit and have dinner, then cool, then eat. That's
Yeah.
fine.
They're very accommodating to both, to the
Exactly,
artist
yeah.
and the audience.
Yeah, there's a place down in San Juan called the Coach House. That's the
Done
same
that
thing.
I've done stand up there. It's
I
great.
love
Okay,
Coach
stand up's
House.
fine. Stand up,
Yeah.
great. But when you're playing in a rock and roll band and you're looking down and there's somebody like passing the salt, you're just like, I don't understand. This is just such a weird vibe.
That
Yeah.
is weird.
It's
that is really weird.
It's like when you go to shows. I'll go to shows which are I don't know. I like older acts, so you kind of go. I see the comebacks come around a lot, and they're these rockin' bands that you want to get up and dance. Like for example, the Who, and you're like standing in your seat, and the guy behind you is like, "Hey, sit down, I can't see." And you're like, "Why are you sitting at the Who?" Like I get it, you're 65, but stand up. It's the Who.
This has
Like,
to be the most exciting thing that happened to
it's
you
like
this year.
It's like they're seeing Billie Holiday or something. I'm like, dude, this is punk rock. Like,
Then you
stand
can
up.
you get stuck in one of those loops because you're like, who do you want to see? Yes, the Who. No, who do you want to
Who?
see?
What? Yes,
It's like,
the Who. Yes, no.
It's so ridiculous.
So with your influences and stuff, do you ever throw in like covers of any
Oh
of the
yeah,
older
we
songs?
do tons of covers all the time. Yeah,
Oh, that's
covers are so fun.
What are like some of your favorites that you've thrown in?
Have you heard a band called Jellyfish? There's a band called Jellyfish that's really, really great. But we cover a song called "Joining a Fan Club." That's just like it's like covering Bohemian Rhapsody or something.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
this very intense and like vocal heavy and musical heavy,
Operatic sort of thing,
very,
yeah.
Like when musicians are like, "Oh shit, you covered Fan Club like live? Like how'd you do that live? What?" So that's a lot of fun. And then anything Beatles, I want to play all the time, and Elvis.
totally.
Yeah.
I'm always just pulling out any of that.
So you
kind of stuff.
cover
Johnny
Octopus's
Cash
Garden?
and- I love Octopus's Garden. Actually, that's one of my-
Octopus's
Garden in the shade.
It's hard to be in a bad mood when that song's playing.
Yeah,
you
and
know.
if you listen to the background vocal harmonies on that song, they're so cool. And then they sound like they're underwater, like how they
Yeah.
made them sound like the bubbles, and like they're just.
Matt's
Have you ever
trying to
People
be
diss on that
shitty
song,
and-
but it's a
and
great
it's
song.
Have you
actually a
ever
great
met? Have
song.
you ever met a Beatle? Have you ever met any of the Beatles?
No, I'd die.
You have.
I have met. I've met a
Ringo?
I met two Beatles. I met Paul McCartney.
What?
He comes to the Hollywood Improv and sits in the audience sometimes in the back in the corner and watches shows. I don't know why, but like once a year he'll just show up, sit in the back, and he'll watch like for 3 nights in a row. He'll just watch comics. And I was walking towards him, and everything in me just kind of, I just wanted to say something, and I like kind of did like a little wave, like a little hi wave, and he winked at me. And everything in me was like, oh, I'm so excited. I got winked at. And I called my mom. That was the only experience I had with Paul McCartney. With Ringo Starr, not as great an experience.
No?
That was
Not Ringo's fault, by the way.
Not Ringo's fault.
Ringo flip you the bird instead.
I went to an event called, it was the John Lennon.
It wasn't all peace and love.
No, it was an event called the John Lennon Imagine Benefit for AIDS. It was an AIDS.
Imagine AIDS. I don't know. That's not a.
It was John Lennon Benefit for AIDS.
Okay.
For AIDS research, and I got there and I waited and I went. I did my little red carpet thing, and there was no one famous at the event at all. It was at the Hard Rock on Hollywood Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
It was me and that guy from Glee. Remember the he was like the janitor on Glee. I don't know. He was like some guy.
Don't know.
And we had nothing to say, and we were bored out of our fucking minds. And I did the carpet, did all the interviews, and then I went back and did them again. Like because there was no one else. There was no one else, and no one was there. And so I went back, and one of the interviews they said, "Did you hear that Ringo Starr is going to be here tonight?" And I went, "Oh, is he?" Is he going to be here? And they were like, yeah, Ringo Starr's coming to the event tonight. And I was like, oh, great. super excited. And I was like, give me a
Yeah,
break.
didn't you
First
say
of all,
like not even?
I was like, yeah. I was like, that's no one. Like no one cares. I was like, that's first of all, no, it's not happening. Also, first of all, it's not happening. Second of all, like, why would you make up? Why would you make up that we're going to be excited about the least exciting Beatle of all the Beatles to like say it's coming? Like, why Ringo? Like no one is, not even Ringo's excited about Ringo being here. Like, give me a break. He's not coming, and also no one cares. And the guy was like, Ringo Starr is like a legend, and I was like, look. The only reason he got to sing was any songs was because Paul McCartney fell asleep, and then Paul McCartney woke up and he was like, "Oh, what's going on over here? Why is Ringo singing?" I said, "No one lets him sing." And as I'm doing this to a camera guy, Ringo Starr walks up behind me and goes to do an interview at the next thing. And the guy goes, "It's Ringo," and turned the camera to him. And I ran away. I literally ran, screamed. I went, "Ah!" And then ran out of the event and ran as far as I could. And there are photos of me on the carpet next to him looking terrified of me realizing it's happened. Like, it was the stupidest, worst. And I'm a huge Beatles fan, but I was just fucking around. I didn't think.
And a huge Ringo Starr fan.
Huge Ringo fan too. Yeah, just.
I think he did excellent work as Mr. Conductor. I'll have you know. He was good.
He was good in the film Caveman. Do you remember that movie?
Oh my god!
Yeah, back in, what was that? Peter Sellers?
Yeah.
Is that Daryl Hannah? No.
I don't know who the
No,
lady was.
Who else was in that
Pre
movie?
Daryl Hannah. This is like in
yeah.
1965.
Oh, that's the Cave Woman. Something of the Cave Woman. Clan of the Cave Bear. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Anyways, first acting job, according to IMDb, says Home Improvement. Is that true?
No.
Well,
You were
fuck
on-
you, IMDb. You lying
Was that
sacks
before or
of
after
shit.
Seinfeld? Because you did an episode of Seinfeld.
That was before Seinfeld.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was on
Okay.
Seinfeld.
What's the first job?
Well, I mean, it was commercials. I did tons of commercials.
Okay.
My first commercial was a Whirlpool commercial where I had to sit on a tree stump and eat a popsicle. That's
Yeah.
pretty
Wow.
cool. It's
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And they paid you for that.
They paid me for it.
Yeah.
And I got to skip school. So
Whoa.
Nice.
I was,
How old
pretty
were you?
stoked. I
Maybe?
don't know, like 5.
Oh my god,
6.
that's outrageous.
I think I was like 6. Yeah.
I love it. What was first TV like us acting job on a TV show?
First acting job on a TV show, probably maybe Home Improvement.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry, IMDb. I'm just kidding.
Maybe
Says
Home
you-
Improvement.
what did you
Because
play?
I think I was 8.
It says that you played
on
Little
that.
Pete in 1994 on Home Improvement.
Yeah, I'd
And
done
then-
movies and stuff before.
Yeah, the
that.
Neon. There's Neon Bible.
Neon Bible was before that.
That was before that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drifting School. Oh no, Drifting School was after.
Minor Adjustments. Yeah,
Right.
Drifting School.
Minor
What was-
Adjustments with Rondell Sheridan.
What was Little Pete's story on Home Improvement? What was
Little
his-
Pete was Pete Bilker's son. He was Tim's construction worker friend, and my mom had run out on us, and Tim feeling bad was like, "Oh, I'm gonna give you my old tree, the old swing set in our backyard."
Uh-huh.
So when Jill got home, she's like, "What are you? That was the kids' treehouse, swing set." And I had their measurements marked on there, and it's all of our memories. And how could you? And it's all gone, And now, it's at this kid's house. So he invites me over, and he's like, "Hey, why don't I take that old crummy swing set that's full of splinters anyway, and build you a brand new one?" And he's talking to Pete, to my dad, and saying, "Oh, it must, he must be some happy-go-lucky kid. Look at him, always smiling." He's like, "No, his mom ran out on him." Just tells him the worst story. He's like, should have known going to the grocery store with 9 pieces of luggage in the car, kind of thing. And then looks at me, he's, "Oh, why don't I build you a new one?" I'm like, "Oh, is it gonna have a teeter-totter?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." He's, "Oh, is it gonna have a swing set?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." Is it gonna have a sandbox? "Yeah, sure." "What, a sandbox? A treehouse?" "Yeah, fine. They have one at the park." He's like, "All right, fine, yeah." So he ends up having to build me this whole big thing, and then gets the treehouse back and saves the day for Jill and everything.
Oh,
like
I
that.
love that. Now in Drifting School, you got to work with one of my favorite actors ever, Bubba Smith from the Police Academy movies.
I was like, what
Bubba
actor
Smith
in that
and
movie
from
is your
Miller
favorite
Lite
actor
commercials?
of all
Yeah.
time?
How weird is that?
I have
Bubba Smith was great.
I love that. I
He
love
was so
Bubba
cool.
Smith.
Do you have a story about him?
No, just that he was massive.
Yeah, he's
He's
huge.
got to
He
be
was huge.
enormous
So
in
big,
comparison
man.
to
Especially when you're a kid, too.
Oh my
God.
God. I just remember him being just a giant.
Yeah.
Hey, so Matt, as always, I brought a bottle of Fireball whiskey to
Yeah.
the show because
It's a good time.
Fireball is the best. It's the best.
Makes every show better.
It makes everything better, man. It makes dates better. It makes dancing better. It makes podcasts better. It makes shows better. It makes stand-up better. It makes dealing with your family better. It makes crying better. It's so much better. I love it. I'm gonna drink some right now, and you know what? If I hold the bottle up, you can actually hear the Fireball whiskey
You
talking.
can't hear it talk.
Yes, you can. I'll take the lid off.
All
Hang
right.
on. Okay, now I'm gonna hold it up. You can hear.
Steven!
Oh, that's
Steven!
that's the Fireball.
Wow.
That's in the
I
bottle.
want to be inside you.
Oh, all right.
Steven!
Hey, Fireball, how are you?
I'm so horny, Steven.
I'm sure you are. All right, now
I
let's.
want to do it with your stomach.
Well, get in there. Get on in there. I'm gonna drink you down,
right.
baby. Here we go.
Yeah, swallow it. Yeah.
Get in there. Ooh,
yeah.
how's it feel in my stomach?
Feels so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so good.
Hey, who's making all that racket?
Oh God, there's another man in here. Steven, you whore.
How much stuff do you have in your stomach?
Who's in my stomach? Who is that?
He looks so handsome.
Oh, that's Gary.
Yeah,
Gary.
don't you remember?
Gary asked if he could.
I slid down an onion ring last week, bro.
Yeah, he needed a place to stay.
Yeah.
I'm Airbnb-ing my
Your stomach,
right now.
Definitely, yeah.
So Gary, how is it in there with?
It's good, bro. I'm not ready to blow out anytime soon, man.
That's cool, man.
I'm gonna hang out in here for a while.
I hope you don't mind hanging out with Fireball whiskey.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's gonna be great. We're gonna party together.
We're gonna give him ulcers together, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey,
Let's
hey,
kidney stone.
Gary. Let's do it.
let's-
Sloppy seconds. I'll
Let's
be
get
inside
revenge
you.
for him eating us, even though we want him to.
Yes.
Yes.
Just kind of rolling inside. Oh,
I think you should go see a doctor, Steven.
I probably should. Guys, Fireball whiskey, it makes everything better. All right, let's get back to the show. So was your breakout, like the job that was your breakout job, was it Jerry Maguire? Is that the job that,
I mean, I don't
that
know what you
pushed
would mean by like breakout.
like the job that kind of put you into a different category? Like, because everything up to that point, it's all good stuff. Men behaving badly. These are all like regular. Like,
and what
good,
did you? Well,
good
let's talk about
jobs.
Seinfeld for a minute because you did the Frogger episode.
yeah.
Right? And
I just had like
Great
one line
episode.
quick in that. I just said like, thanks a lot, mister, for messing me up on the Frogger game. He like makes me die. He's
Yeah.
like, go left, go right. No, whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like Jerry Maguire is like that's a big fucking movie.
That was
big
pretty
movie.
huge. That was pretty massive.
Did
yeah.
it? Did you feel it at that age that it was a big deal? Or
More
not so much?
later.
Yeah.
More like when it became like.
So
I mean, all the Oscars and all that kind of stuff was all.
Yeah.
But I think at my age, it didn't. I don't know. I don't think. And it was weird too. Like I kind of separated the two. Like those scenes weren't a part of this big movie. I don't know. You ever make a
because-
movie and you kind of
yeah.
like when it gets to your scene, you're like, oh, now I see the hair and makeup people and I see the day and I see what happened around it, and then all of a sudden you're seeing parts of a film that you weren't in. Parts of that same film that you weren't in. And it all of a sudden looks like a movie to you because you weren't
you weren't there,
there
for that.
while they were shooting it.
Right.
So it looks like a movie. You know what I mean? So I don't
Yeah.
know. I had sort of a disconnect at a
Did
young
you
age. Of,
spend any time with Tom Cruise when you were working?
oh,
on it?
dude, unreal.
Did he
one
have-
of the coolest, nicest,
Okay.
best people I've
So
ever worked
did he
with?
have you at Hello?
He had me at hello. He had me at hello. He was he's absolutely one of the coolest people I've ever worked with in the 25, 30 years, however long I've been doing this.
Well, for
What
those
about Lipnicki? What was he like?
Lipnicki's cool. He's
Okay.
a cool dude. I didn't meet him. I didn't meet him till years later, but
You guys are both jacked. You guys could.
No,
you
he's a
guys
little
could
more
fight.
jacked than I am.
He's pretty jacked.
Yeah.
He's
but
buff
you
now,
guys
yeah.
could. You guys could play superheroes.
well,
with each
tell
other.
Marvel.
I will.
Get me into some
Hey,
live
Marvel.
action. Get me
Marvel.
some live action
Get him in
superhero
the
stuff.
fucking
Enough,
thing,
enough
for
of this.
God's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you? I mean, you've been playing Spider-Man in the animated Spider-Man series for how long? How many versions of this have you done?
Well, this is excuse me. The Ultimate Spider-Man that I did is the longest running action adventure animated series of all time.
Wow.
That's
pretty
amazing.
huge.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
We
'Cause
went
I
back. It
remember
was Batman
watching
Beyond
it.
before.
Yeah.
And then we surpassed Batman Beyond.
Whoa.
How long
that
has it
is
been on?
It
I can-
5 years, 2004, 2005. I think we started.
Oh my god.
I remember watching it when it got on Netflix, and then
No, wait, sorry, not 2005, 2015, 16, 17. No, wait, I don't know. Do the
looking at
math.
it long.
Do the
I'm looking it
math,
up.
bro. I don't know.
looking it
I was
up.
an actor when I was a kid. I didn't go to school.
I don't think people care
I
about
don't know
the
things
numbers
about
that much.
numbers and math.
Yeah,
They're
I
not
was
gonna-
on set, man.
The important part is you were freaking Spider-Man for a long time.
We
and
did
that's
over 100
awesome.
of them. I know that.
We're in a Chinese restaurant. Somebody
and you
get an
had
abacus.
like some of the live action Marvel actors doing voices with you, didn't you? Like
Oh
Clark
yeah.
Gregg and,
Oh yeah.
Who
Yeah,
were
a
some
lot
of the
of
other
them.
ones that were like?
Yeah, let's see. You got some peeps. There's some peeps in there. Matt Lantern's in there. Tom
Yeah.
Kinney, J.K. Simmons,
Oh yeah, J.K.
Yeah,
We had
J.J.
J.K.
as
Clark
Jonah
Gregg.
Jameson.
Yeah.
Stephen
who-
Weber, Tara Strong, D. Bradley Baker. These are all. I mean, and then
Well,
Kevin
I mean,
Michael Richardson.
dude, Mark Hamill.
Come
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Oh my God! And
Yeah.
Phil Lamar, who's about to come on
Yeah,
our
Phil's
show.
amazing.
Now-
He's incredible.
Now, who did Mark Hamill play on it?
He played
it-
Arnim Zola.
Oh, okay. The big giant robot,
Yeah,
Nazi inventor.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons, you worked with a lot then on that show. Was he terrifying in person?
No, he's like really cool, dude.
Because
He's
he just,
very
I've never seen him in anything where I'm not like completely
terrified.
frightened by
Yeah,
him.
no,
Because I first remember him from Oz, and your
Oh,
first
yeah.
introduction
Yeah.
to him is him basically carving a swastika into some guy's ass,
yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a scary motherfucker. And then like you see him in Whiplash, you're like, oh, he's still scary.
Yeah.
And then he does like farmers insurance commercials, and I'm like, nope,
Nope,
Yeah.
I'm not buying it.
And
don't buy it.
and
You're gonna burn my house down.
People
That's
need
what
insurance from you,
the dad
J.K.
in
Simmons.
Juno,
not-
Yeah.
the dad in Juno, he's like, honey, mom, I'm pregnant. Oh, that's cool. That's great. That's
Yeah.
No problem.
That-
no
the
big
guy
deal.
who impregnated her is a dead man.
Yeah,
You
right.
know?
Like, yeah, he's like, oh, that's
Like-
okay. So, honey, you want to take this one? Okay, great, cool.
But him as J. Jonah Jameson was like one of the first times ever in a movie where I was like, that is the comic book
Nailed it.
character.
Yeah, nailed it.
Stepped out of the comic book. I was like, he just
Completely.
kills it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here is a weird credit mashup. And we're gonna
What?
play. It's a weird thing. It's a weird credit mashup. Mike, sing the song.
Credit mashup.
Thank you. That was really good. You were in a movie
Yes,
called Perfect Game.
I was.
Perfect Game was directed by Dan Gunselman. Dan Gunselman, the father of Logan Gunselman,
Yes.
the stand-up comedian that performs regularly on the Nighttime Show live.
And has done our podcast
And has
a
done our
couple times.
podcast a few times. And Ed Asner was on was one of the leads in that movie, and we just went to his house and interviewed him. This fucking weird movie, Perfect Game, continuously keeps intersecting with all of our lives for
No way.
some strange movie.
What's it about?
I've never seen it. It came out in 2000. It's Patrick Duffy, Ed Asner, Dan Gunselman, and then Drake Bell is one of the leads.
What's the
film.
movie about, Drake?
Sarah Paxton's in it
Oh my god!
when she was super young. We did a superhero movie together too. Years later.
Oh yeah.
The kid, that little kid who played the remake to Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah.
He was the star. He was the lead. Oh, Orlando Brown.
Is it
Yeah.
a baseball
Before he
movie?
lost
or-
his mind. Yes.
Okay, so it's about a perfect game.
Yeah,
Wait.
it's basically just Sandlot, kids playing baseball, big giants, little giants, kind of.
Sure.
I just love that, for some weird reason, we just keep intersecting with this movie.
That's so
where we
funny.
keep running into it. Logan Gunselman, by the way, hysterical stand-up comedian, and we keep reminding her of this movie, and it just
Annoys her.
it annoys her too much, probably too much. You were in High Fidelity when you
Yeah.
were a young man
That was a
as
big
well.
one.
That's a fucking huge movie.
Yeah.
That movie did something very dangerous, and I want to address this right now. because I saw that movie, I tried to reach out to all of my ex-girlfriends to find out what I had done wrong in my life, and turns out
Did they all just say everything?
yeah, they just were like, everything, you've done everything wrong. You're terrible you were terrible as being a boyfriend. So it definitely caused. I'm sure other guys did that too. I don't know. Have you ever done that? You ever reach out to ex-girlfriends and ask them what you were like as a boyfriend and why it didn't work out?
No, I usually know.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you just
It's
gotta know
never
why.
my fault either. So they're usually reaching out to me, going, "What did I do?"
Why?
It's not me. It's you.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, that is a terrible idea.
I know. It really is a dangerous
Yeah, especially when
idea.
you're not as cool as John Cusack.
Yeah, no, I definitely am not as cool as John Cusack.
Yeah,
You don't
no,
own a
that's-
record store. You
Yeah, I mean, come on.
have a lot working against you on
Yeah,
this
I
terrible plan.
really do. I'd say Amanda show, Amanda Bynes show, huge fucking. That was a huge deal for you because was that your first time being a series regular on
Yeah.
the show?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this show because my girlfriend knows I'm obsessed with Amanda Bynes. Have been for a very long time. Huge fan. When she went kind of crazy and kind of went off the edge a little bit, made me love her even more. All right, I'm a big Bynes. I'm a Bynes head.
Okay.
That's what people call me. You gotta tell me what this girl was like because that's where you started working with Josh Peck during that time. You started working with all sorts of other wonderful people. But let's talk about the Bynes. Give me some Bynesness. I want to know some Bynesness.
What do you want to know?
Tell me about her. What was she like as a kid? What was happening?
I mean,
what was happening around her?
she was just. I mean, she was awesome.
Yeah.
She's really freaking talented. She was a, ball of fire, and it was just really cool to see. I don't know. For me, I was young, and she was already on All That when I started the show.
How much older than you was she at that time?
Not that much older. I mean,
Okay.
I think she's only 30. We're probably the same age.
Okay.
But she had been on All That before, and I watched her on All That. So when I got on the Amanda show, before I got to know her, to be like friends with her, it was really cool for me to see somebody like, oh wow, she's my age and she has her own show and she's running the ship and she's like she's in every scene and for something like the Amanda show, it's not like it's not like you're doing Full House where you just how easy it is to work on a sitcom where you just memorize your dialogue and you're in normal wardrobe and nothing you don't get messy, nothing happens to you, you just say your lines and everyone laughs and you move on to the next scene. Well, it's like the Amanda show, she's in full, it's like Tracy Ullman or something.
Yeah.
She's in full makeup in one scene and then the next scene she has to go into completely different prosthetics and then the next scene and different voices and characters and all of this stuff. And that's what I grew up just loving, like Carol Burnett and all of that, Rich Little and voices and impersonations and Sammy Davis Jr., all that kind of stuff. And so for me, just watching it was just like, I was like, man, it's dope to see somebody that like, oh, cool, maybe I can do that. Like, I don't have to be, 30 years old. She's 12 and she's got her own show and she's running.
Yeah, she's
running
already
shit,
killing it.
So,
Yeah. And
so it was really cool.
yeah, and what was your first impression of Josh?
I didn't like him.
Really?
No.
Why not?
Because he was like a little whiny baby kid. I don't know. He was just this like, I don't know. He was kind of like a little, I don't know.
Were you guys that different at that age?
Yeah, we were completely antithesis, opposites. Yeah, totally.
Really?
Yeah, it took a little while for us to warm up to each other, but then we did. He was just so freaking funny, and like we became best friends. It was just, but the first meeting, it was just like, ah. Well, the thing was he came in on the second season.
Okay.
And so
you guys already had your dynamic down
I was
at that
the only
point.
guy on the show.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
think
I
that
get
was a
it.
little bit of like, wait a minute. So they got rid of one of the cast members and then brought in a dude? Like, but you already have me. Like, what? So I think that was what it was kind of like, I don't want to have, and then when he started doing his stuff, I was like,
So you're saying you felt inadequate?
a little
because-
bit, pretty much, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
But then there was, and then he started being funny and started doing, and I was like, oh well, all right, you can't, it's like, oh well, he's good, okay.
yeah. That
so-
happens though. That happens with when you develop a dynamic and then they bring someone else in, it's it
Yeah,
gets
it's
fucks shit up
you
a little bit.
gotta get used to it. It's like it kind of. But obviously, our chemistry was like undeniable, and we clicked. It was just,
I'm really happy. I mean, I watched you guys kind of reunite recently, and that like no matter what, for fans in general. When fans know that like there's a beef or there's weirdness, it kind of sours shit a little bit, and it's not. It was nice seeing you guys kind of come back together.
Yeah.
Did you get that feeling? Did you get that vibe from like? It was more important for the fans even.
yeah. I
than
mean,
guys.
definitely.
Was there like a big feud going?
Yeah, there was a huge feud.
What was that all about?
Well, I mean, not huge, but like I don't know. He's. Everything's cool. We're all good. He's a cool dude. I love him.
Look, things get weird sometimes.
Everything's great between me and Paul. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. The Beatles will get back together soon. Don't worry about it.
Look,
Talk to Paul. Ask Paul.
Are you saying that your relationship with Josh Peck at one point was as alive as Billy Barty at that point?
Pretty much.
Wow.
Pretty
yeah,
much.
I mean that happens though. I mean, sometimes people burn out on each other a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You grow in different ways, and you kind of grow away from each other, and then
it's just I just missed my friend.
Now he's on a big show right now, right? Isn't he?
Is he?
No.
Or
No.
he did something.
He was on a show.
He was on a
called
show.
Grandfathered,
With
right?
John Stamos, yeah.
With John
Oh, that's
Stamos.
the one he was on. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you went on that show too, and you guys.
Yeah, we
you
did
guys
like a little
interacted?
reunion kind of thing on there. It was
Yeah.
pretty
Shit.
fun.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a good time. I would love to take some more questions from the
Let's do
web.
it.
Do you want to go live on Instagram, or you want me to go live on Instagram? What are you in the mood for? We can both go live on Instagram. Go ask
You
these.
can go double live.
Let's go double live. Here, I'll hit him up.
So you've sort of shifted away from the acting these days? You're really focused on the music? Would you
Well,
say?
I just had a movie out called American Satan. It came out
What?
Friday the 13th with Ian McKellen and
Oh,
Olivia
God.
Culpo and
That sounds cool.
what's his name? Andy Black from Black Veil Brides and Sebastian Bach. Like, I don't know. It was all these cool metalheads and stuff.
American Satan.
American Satan.
I would
Friday
watch
the
that.
13th.
Yeah.
And then I have this other movie that I just finished called Cover Versions with Debbie Ryan and Jerry Trainer and some other cats. And
Yeah.
not sure I'm not sure when that one comes out, but we just finished that one. I haven't seen either of them, so I'm always like very wary of like, oh yeah, I'm coming out in this movie.
Oh yeah,
like wait till I
American-
see it, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, it's cool. So yeah, come on out and see the movie.
I know American Satan. I know this. There's all sorts of crazy people in this too.
Yeah.
Denise Richards is
Denise
in
Richards,
it.
yeah.
Boo Boo Stewart is in it. Malcolm McDowell.
Oh, yeah.
Malcolm
this is
McDowell, yeah.
Mark Boone Jr., who did our podcast and was terrifying when he was on the show. Yeah, lots of fun people. That movie looks terrifying and awesome. That looks like it was a lot of
Malcolm
fun.
McDowell.
Is there something that you haven't done in your career that you would really like to do? Is there some like a project that you've never gotten to do?
I don't know. I probably just something. I want to direct a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think and TV. I want to direct TV. I've directed TV, but I just want to do more of it. I like forcing. Like my favorite thing on the planet Earth is, well, other than like playing live to a sea of people.
Sure, of course, yeah.
But like when I'm at home, not on tour, what
Yeah.
I would want to be doing with all of my time is directing for a camera sitcom.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you want to be like Fred Savage, who's
Yeah.
a kid star. and now has
I
become-
mean, Fred's a great friend. Is a good friend of mine, and unbelievably talented that guy is. And he's definitely a blueprint that I would want to follow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's directed some Drake and Josh, and yeah, I mean, God, if I could have as much of directing as he has under his belt, that'd be incredible. But like the Rich Carells and the Jerry Paris's and all these guys. I just Desi Arnaz. Like I'd love to be Desi.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I would also like to have a billionaire wife divorce me.
One of the things that we have to talk about, and if we don't talk about it, we're fucking idiots. We really should talk about it. Mike Black here and I we're both big toy collectors and memorabilia people. We both have a lot of crazy weird shit in our place. But no one at this table even compares to Drake Bell. I've been to your home. I've seen what you've collected, and I'm such a massive fan of what you've done as a Disney fanatic. Like your shit is next level stuff. I want to talk about this because, okay, just to give you an idea, this guy Mike Black here at Mike Black at Attack on Instagram and all across social is like photos and photos and photos of like tons of toys of the entire collection of every Aliens toy that they've ever put out, and then custom ones he's like handmade himself or had people make, right?
If they didn't make them, I would make it myself.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Crazy stuff. And then I have most of the 1980s Star Wars action figures and vehicles and play sets from that time period in a big giant glass case next to my desk.
Yeah.
And I'm consistently going on like Facebook and on eBay searching for pieces that I'm missing from that time period. And then Mike got me into like the 6-inch, Black Series figurines. So now I've got like a giant set. And Rachel bought me the giant, massive Disney TIE Fighter, which now sits in my office. Like I got way too much stuff that way. You have a fucking tiki room, my friend. That is a whole nother.
I do have an enchanted tiki room.
Yeah, let's walk through it a little bit. Tell me about Disney.
About Disney?
Tell me about Disneyland.
What do you want to know about Disneyland? I know everything to know.
Tell me how you got interested in it, why it became a big deal for you.
Because I grew up across the street. I grew up down, after school, it was instead of going to the mall, we'd go to Disneyland. And I grew up in Anaheim.
This is back in the day where you had the E-tickets and B-tickets and all that, so you could get it for free?
I'm not that old.
Okay. I'm that old.
You're that old, you old bastard.
We used to go there because there was no entrance cost. You could just go in and walk around.
Buy the tickets, no. I was way past that. But yeah, it just became like my home away from home, and I just love it. And now anytime I can go down there, it's the nostalgia of it, And so when I was doing my new house, my old house was more gothic, kind of looked like
Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, kind of. And the new one is much more Fantasyland.
Okay.
Look, the old one was more Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion kind of thing, but the new one is much more Fantasyland. I've got the Enchanted Tiki room that I did all custom, and then my bathroom is all Haunted Mansion.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a graveyard on my toilet and like all this different stuff.
Wow.
That I've
You gotta
made.
tell Mike a little bit about the Enchanted Tiki room, because that room it looks legit to actual Disneyland.
The viewers, the listeners won't appreciate it, but I'll show you pictures afterwards.
I would love that.
Of
and can we post a few pictures of it, or
sure.
would that be crazy?
Yeah.
Do you have the Dole pineapple stand nearby?
The Dole Whip? No, I don't. But they do. They're selling a Dole Whip sign at Disneyland that I just haven't picked up yet. But I gotta grab it. But basically, you walk into my house and it's just all Disney art and Shag. I'm obsessed with the artist Shag. Who?
What kind of stuff does Shag?
I thought you meant you had just shag carpeting everywhere.
No, just shagging, really.
Okay.
Just obsessed with shagging. Really,
You're not alone.
Have a shag, But no, he's this artist, Josh Agel, who calls himself Shag, and he does like very kitschy '60s, mid-century modern, like cartoony art. So it's something that looks like, a cartoon imagine somebody who was really into Hanna-Barbera and the Rat Pack growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I've seen some of that.
And they became an artist.
Like I think
what
did,
would they paint? And that's what it basically looks like.
I think he did some sort of illustration for Mad Men where he did like the whole cast in that style?
He may have. He did
Yeah.
Twin Peaks thing recently. He does a lot of art for Disney, but it's all very tiki, Shriners.
I love your
kitschy,
fireplace.
you know.
What color is your fireplace?
It's like a baby robin's egg blue kind of
so
thing, two-tone. It looks like it's like very Mickey's house.
You got to tell him about the TV. Will you tell him about the TV?
I have an old TV from 1965 that actually works, like a working Philco. That's like really the only TV in my house, except for the one in my bedroom. But But yeah, it's really cool. It's old black and white. It's hard. You got to just see the.
I
place.
know.
It doesn't really do it justice. I have a whole huge shag mural on my wall, so when you walk right in, there's just a massive mural on the wall that looks like you can like walk. It looks like a Palm Springs pad with a pool in the back. It's just it's hard.
awesome.
It's hard to explain, but
It's awesome.
there's pictures of it.
I know.
But it's fun.
I love that you've kind of made it your own. Like that you figured out how to make it your own thing. And also I've been in people's homes that are like, I'm a big massive like Star Wars fan, or like I'm a big this fan or whatever, and you're like, all right, cool. And they've got great pieces up. Or like I went to this woman Zadrina, I went to her house and she had a piece of Small World
Oh damn!
in their house because they had bought it at a Disney auction.
Yeah.
I guess, and there are times where they retire.
Oh, dude,
pieces.
I have so many friends who, like, for example, in my Enchanted Tiki room, I have pieces from the Polynesian at Disney World. I have actual lights that were hanging on the walls, actual pieces of art because they renovated and completely switched it over.
Yeah.
And to Disney, it's all garbage now.
Well, how
They
do
may
you
as well
even
just throw it
find-
away.
How do you even find that?
There's just
stuff?
auctions.
Yeah.
I have a friend who literally that's all he does is just buys and sells Disney memorabilia and Disney. He's got animals from the Jungle Cruise. He's got costumes he's got cast member costumes, the character costumes. He's got every once in a while he'll be like, oh, I just picked up the film from the Circle Vision Theater from 94 or 92, whatever it is. I just got the original Star Tours film, blah, blah, blah.
What?
Like, all these just, he was walking around. We were just at the Magic Castle recently, and he was walking around with, have you been on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride?
Of course.
Yeah.
One of my
Okay, so
favorite
the
rides of all
very
time.
end, the little devils that hang?
Yeah.
Well, he had one of those, but from the original ride from the 50s.
What does he sell something like that for?
It's like 10 grand or something.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to be in so much trouble.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Well, John Stamos has a Doom buggy. He has a Dumbo car. He has the original Disneyland sign that used to be standing outside of Disneyland. He has the
What?
original D from the Disneyland sign. I think he has the whole sign. He just puts up the D.
Is
in
that
his,
his house?
He
up
just
on the
shows
top
off
of
the D, John Stamos.
Is that his house at the top of the hill, above the top of the Hollywood Hills?
with the big
With the big
Disneyland
D on the-
yeah,
on the
that's,
back?
that's
That
Stamos'
is his
place.
house.
Yeah,
I've
Stamos
seen
shows
it.
off his D.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he
That's what
does
he
show
does.
off his D.
But yeah, he's a freak. He's like a freak about
Holy
Disneyland.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's certain things that I see that I want so bad. Like we went to Scum and Villainy Cantina.
Oh yeah.
And recorded episodes of our show there
Cool.
with cast members from
Yeah.
Star Wars,
Oh,
which
sick.
was fucking nuts. For
Yeah.
the what was it for the 40th
For the-
anniversary?
Yeah,
for the
anniversary
40th
of
anniversary.
the first movie coming out.
Yeah, it was bananas. But
That's
they
awesome.
have those like lamps. They hang down in the bar section.
Yeah.
and they're the head from IG-88. They're
Oh,
IG-88's
rad.
head, and they just reused it for the Cantina set. It was like just an extra piece that they
Oh,
put in,
that's so rad.
and he has the mold for it. And I was like, I want one so bad.
Yeah, there's actually what's cool about doing the Tiki Room is there's a place called Oceanic Arts in Whittier, California.
Yeah.
That it's this huge tiki warehouse, and it's got this old couple. It's like Bob and Roy, I think, and they've been together like since the 1940s, and they've owned this place since I think 1954 or something. It's been there forever, and he's one of the most amazing tiki carvers in the world. It's these massive giant tikis. But anyway, you go into this warehouse, and it's literally everything you would need that's Polynesian, tiki, island, whatever. And they make all of the stuff for Adventureland at Disneyland.
Oh,
so
my
if you go to
God.
Disneyland and Adventureland and you see a lamp, you're like, oh, that lamp's awesome, or oh, that tiki mask is really cool, or oh, that you can
go
go
try
to
to buy one.
Oceanic Arts and track it down. So I have like a lot of the masks that are at Disneyland, a lot of the
Jeez.
lamps in my tiki room. When you're at Disneyland, you're like, oh shit, that's the lamp that you have in your room. Oh wait, that's the lamp you have in your room. Oh wait, there's the tiki mask you have. So it literally is like, it's funny when people who haven't been to my house, but we go to Disneyland and then we're like, oh, let's go to my house afterwards. They literally walk into my house and they're like, wait, we just left Disneyland and now we're back in Disneyland. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
It's
do you
pretty
know all
magical.
the like trivia about
Oh, everything.
the hidden Mickeys?
I know
and
everything.
All that stuff?
Everything to know about Disneyland. There's nothing like I could
What
pass
are
any
a couple
test.
of cool facts that about Disneyland?
Give us
itself?
three. Give us three.
3 good ones.
Before
Okay,
we wrap
three
up.
cool facts. Okay, 3 cool facts about Disneyland. Okay, one.
Oh, wait,
one-
hang on. I'll get it. I'll get this on tape.
Number 3.
Okay.
All right, here we go. And
3 cool facts.
Okay, 3 cool facts about Disneyland. One cool fact. First,
three cool facts about Disneyland.
Okay, 3 cool
We
facts.
can't
about
all
Disneyland.
introduce it, Stephen.
Okay, so one is Walt got to pick the. These are just literally coming off the top of
Okay.
my head. Okay, Walt got to pick the address, so he made it 1313, which is MM for Mickey Mouse. That's kind of cool.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's also like 1313 Mockingbird Lane from the
Yeah,
Munsters.
exactly. No one has ever died in Disneyland Park because they don't declare anyone dead inside Disneyland.
Oh, so,
So
the
they-
people who have died there, they take them
They
out
take
and then
them
they declare
out
them
and
dead.
then they declare them dead. So they die on Harbor Boulevard. They don't die.
Wow.
No
Ah.
one's ever been declared dead in Disneyland. And then another one is a cool. So if you go to the park and you ask someone where something is and they direct you and they want to point, they won't point. They'll use 2 fingers, right? They'll go, oh, it's this way or it's that way. And a lot of people think that, oh, it's because in a lot of cultures pointing is rude, so just to make it universal, we use 2 fingers. Well, why wouldn't they just use their hand? Okay, it's this way, you go that way, you go this way, right? Well, the reason they use 2 fingers is because Walt was a smoker, okay? And so, this is true. And
So
so,
he would-
so Walt would be smoking, and he was never, ever, ever, ever without a cigarette, ever. That's how he died. And so, if you go to any picture of Walt inside Disneyland, you'll notice that he'll be talking, and his fingers are like this, but there's nothing there because they've all been
Airbrushed out
digitally
the-
removed.
Yeah.
The only place that you can find a cigarette in Walt's hand at Disneyland is at Carthay Circle. You can there's even the same photo but giant over at Steakhouse 55, and the cigarette's not there. But he's walking out of Carthay Circle right after the Snow White and Seven Dwarfs premiere. He's got a big smile on his face, and he's got a cigarette in his hand. And it's a small, tiny little picture at Carthay Circle, only one you can see. But anyway, that's why. So he would say, oh, this is where I'm going to be putting the Matterhorn. This is where we're going to put...
Yeah, with 2 fingers.
And he would always use 2 fingers because he would have a cigarette in his hand.
That reminds me, the only piece of Disney memorabilia that I had, which I gave to a friend of mine because I didn't care, was I had a matchbook unused from the Disneyland tobacco shop.
Oh,
which
yeah,
they
they
used
used
to
to
have.
have a tobacco shop. And they
Yeah.
used to have a Wizard of Bras. They used to have
Yeah.
a lingerie shop on there, too. Yeah, and the tobacco shop, you can go and test out the tobacco. You could go in there and try it out.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
Yeah, there
all
was like
that
a whole
stuff.
thing. And
Yeah.
I remember seeing it as a kid on Main Street.
Yeah.
And I think they closed it up in like 1990 or something. Like
It was before
not for-
that. It was
okay.
before that. It was like it was like in the maybe early 80s or late
Okay.
70s. that they
Okay,
closed
easy
it up.
trivia. What is inside the Matterhorn?
What's inside the Matterhorn basketball court?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. And which building is where they have Walt's head?
That's under the partner statue
Okay, perfect.
in the middle of the hub.
Below a statue of the Mad Hatter, oddly
Yes.
enough.
There we go. Drake, having you on this show has been a total and complete pleasure. Where can people find you on the internet?
On the internet, just Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's just Drake Bell.
Yeah?
Yeah,
All right.
and you can find me at Disneyland.
Yeah. How often do you go?
I think my record was 198 times in a year.
Oh, God. I have to go with you.
Oh yeah,
You've
it's
been
a
to
blast.
Oh, I
the
never get-
club?
Club 33. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are,
We
are you
actually-
a member? Or?
No, I'm actually banned from Club 33. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
upsetting.
because I went too much and and a bunch of people complained. They were like, "How come he gets to go and I can't and I'm a member?" It's like, "Cause you live in Florida." Like, sorry,
Yeah.
you can't be
Yeah.
here all
Break.
the time. Yeah. And so we just made a lot of friends, and every time we go, and we were there all the time, and so people, oh, come on up to the club, and then all of a sudden they were like, yeah, you probably shouldn't be coming up to the club anymore. But yeah, they had Club 33 in 1901, and we kind of, wore out our welcome. We got enough of it.
It's fun.
And we didn't have to pay a dime.
Yeah, there we go.
Have you been in the Magic Castle room?
No, I actually have not been in, nor have I been in Walt's apartment.
Yeah.
I
Have
really
you
above the
been-
fire station.
In Disney jail.
No, but I have been at the Disney hospital because my girlfriend passed out on Main Street. And I literally
What?
died in front of me. I'm like, really, you have to do it here, really?
Oh
Where
my
you
God.
couldn't do it at home so that I could still go to Disneyland and have a good time, not have to remember that this is where you died.
Oh no!
Well, no.
went to the Disney
Harbor
hospital.
Boulevard is where
Yeah,
she
yeah,
died.
exactly.
Harbor
Very-
Boulevard.
yeah.
Drag around.
And on that note,
On that note, Mike, where can people find you?
At Mike Black Attack on all social media.
What about you, Matt Walker?
You can find links to everything at funnymat.com, or if you are upset with me for some reason, then let me know at mattwalkersucks.com.
Hey, you can always get me at Stephen Glickman, Stephen Glickman on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to the Nighttime Show podcast. It airs every week in its entirety. Lots of good comedy, lots of weird stuff. Check it out. Subscribe, and share, and leave comments on our iTunes and iHeartRadio pages. We love you guys. Thanks for listening to the Nighttime Show, and thanks for coming, Drake Bell. You're a real peach.
yeah, thanks for having me, buddy.
All right.
All right, here we go. Bye.